start of the test, really. No Romo, no Dez, 3-1. I think the Cowboys are even surprised that they're 3-1. I think Dak Prescott's been great. Ezekiel Elliott's been great. Week after week, getting better and better. The game's slowing down, and I think his conditioning is picked up. Now the test comes, starting today, Cincinnati over the next 5 weeks, Green Bay, Philly, and Pittsburgh. A lot of talk about this is Dak Prescott's team. Tony Romo's in the past. Well, if they get through this gauntlet and play well, and do well, I think then, there's maybe some validity to that conversation. But let's get through the gauntlet.
Yeah, Dallas, listen, when you have a football team and you say, well, I'm surprised they're that good. All you have to do is have a few wins in the NFL, and all of a sudden your confidence rises as a football team. Cincinnati going down to play Dallas, and Dalton's already been sacked 13 times, quarterback for Cincinnati. Ken Zampese is in for Hugh Jackson, who is now the head coach in Cleveland. Zampese is the new offensive coordinator. They still throw the ball deep, Cincinnati, but they will run Bernard and Hill today, hoping to beat the Dallas Cowboys on the road. And I think that's the only way they can do it.
All right, time now to find out who's in and out all around the league. We bring back Jay Glazer one more time. Jay?
All right, guys, we're going to start here with Darrelle Revis. He's been banged up with that hamstring injury. He is deactivated today. For the Patriots, Edelman and Gronk were both questionable. Both are up. Gronk, actually, they hope to get more involved in the game plan. For the Minnesota Vikings, their leading receiver, Stephon Diggs, he is deactivated today. For the Bears, Alshon Jeffrey, Eddie Royal, they've been questionable. Eddie Royal is actually more on the doubtful side, but he is in. You see him out there. He is a full go for the Chicago Bears. Des Bryant, Howie talked about him earlier. Doesn't look like he's going later today. Finally, late-breaking news here. Laremy Tunsil, starting tackle for the Miami Dolphins, just got hurt in pregame warm-ups. He is out. That shifts two other positions around on that offensive line in front of Ryan Tannehill.
All right, and it's been a struggle so far this season for the Dolphins. Thanks a lot, Jay. Well, folks, I'm sure you know this at home. Football season always coincides with Oscar season. So every fall, Americans get to see inspirational games and inspirational movies. Our Rob Riggle is clearly a fan of both. Watch out, Sean Astin.
There comes a time when a man is through picking winners because he wants to be a winner himself.
Hey, Riggle, you think you can just show up, try out for the Cowboys, and prove all your doubters wrong?
Nope, not interested. Ladies, I want in!
Yay! This fall, just because you can
Delivery. Hey, lo mein, Szechuan chicken, chopsticks, soy sauce, and you got some fortune cookies. Have a good one.
Ah, these small New York apartments.
Protect your belongings. Let Geico help you with renter's insurance.
I'm always looking forward. It's because I'm sports rich. And when you're sports rich, you get as much fantasy as you want, and you get it with FanDuel. You're a rookie, get in a rookie game. Got $1, get in a dollar game. You and a friend don't see eye to eye? Settle it in a head-to-head. Steve. You don't move backwards in life, only forward.
Deposit now for 5 free entries and get all the fantasy football has to offer. FanDuel, be sports rich.
It's 4th down, 4 seconds left. Wow, what a pass! Amazing catch! Play of the game.
What do you want to play now? Let's play Frisbee. How about tag?
Get out and play for 60 minutes a day, every day.
Yay!
The NFL Today on CBS Sports is presented by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency.
And welcome back to the NFL today. Right now, the Texans and the Vikings are getting set for their matchup. And as we approach kickoff, let's send you out live to Minneapolis with our announcers, Spiro Ditas and Solomon Wilcox. Gentlemen.
All right, JB, they are expecting better than 66,000 here at U.S. Bank Stadium on a gorgeous Sunday afternoon in downtown Minneapolis for the first official day game in the history of this football palace that they have built in Minneapolis. Well, for Sam Bradford, from castaway to being mentioned as one of the early frontrunners with an outside chance at the league MVP, he has been MVP-like without a doubt over his first 3 starts as a Viking. Hi, everyone. So excited to be with you from this beautiful football stadium in Minneapolis. Spiro Ditas alongside Solomon Wilcox. Quarter of the way through the season, Vikings have been the story in the NFL, and the Texans 3-1 Sally already a 2-game lead atop the AFC South.
Well, there's no doubt about it. We know it's a quarterback-driven league, Spiro, but I can't wait to see the 2 defenses for both of these football teams. They will hit, hurry, and harass your quarterback. They're good at taking the ball away, so it may come down to which quarterback can do the best at protecting the football.
All right, speaking of defense, let's start with Mike Zimmer and the unit that he has transformed here in the 3 years since taking over this franchise back in 2014. They were dead last the year before in 2013, and right now at the top of virtually every major statistical category in the NFL. So I'm going to take us a little bit deeper.
What they do better than anyone else is they take away the opposing team's #1 receivers. They did on Monday night with Odell Beckham Jr. Watch Xavier Rhodes sit on this route because he knows he has help over the top as part of that cut coverage that they'll use. They'll do it again here. Xavier Rhodes over the top, and then watch Harrison Smith undercut this route, nearly coming away with the interception, shrinking the windows of opportunity for the opposing quarterback. Now, they make the game easy for their quarterback, Sam Bradford, who is now on his 3rd team in 3 years. Other than staying healthy, no one has ever questioned the talent of Sam Bradford. He's playing the best of his career, a career-high completion percentage and passer rating, and he's only thrown 1 interception in 122 pass attempts so far this year.
All right, meantime for the Houston Texans, they continue life without the face of their franchise and superstar J.J. Watt. They'll play their 2nd game since shutting Watt down with that back injury. So far, so good. 3-1 on the season. As I mentioned, a 2-full-game lead over the rest of the pack in the AFC South. Bill O'Brien, masterful coaching job for this club a year ago. Started that season 2-5, got them to 9-7 and a home postseason game in January. And O'Brien this week answering to some of those reports that he has just taken over play calling. He says he's been calling the plays for 3 years and has his team ready to go. Brock Osweiler still trying to find his footing meantime as Texans starting quarterback. 6 picks that he's thrown over the first 4 games, threw 2 of them in their home win over Tennessee last week. Solomon, one thing we do know, he's got some pretty good targets to throw to down the field.
There's no doubt DeAndre Hopkins, Will Fuller turning into one of the best tandem of wide receivers in the National Football League. They've proven to be consistent and capable big playmakers in the passing game. They can dominate any defense, and so I think they're going to test Mike Zimmer's defense here today.
And with that, how about our tools for success presented by Home Depot?
Well, for the Houston Texans, they have the league's #1 ranked secondary. They're second to none, particularly when it comes down to shutting down the opposing team's tight ends, something they have done in recent weeks. That means the Minnesota Vikings tight end Kyle Rudolph, he's got to be money inside the red zone for Sam Bradford. He's had a touchdown in each of his last 3 games. As for our keys to the game, for Houston, no Watt, no problems. It means the Texans must replace his effort, energy, and that enthusiasm he brings each and every week. And for the Vikings, their wide receivers, they've just been missing in action. Only 1 receiving touchdown by wide receiver Stephon Diggs. He is out of today's game.
Well, the Minnesota Vikings perfect through the first quarter of the season, looking to stay perfect against the Houston Texans, who face their most difficult test of this NFL season. The starting lineups and the kick next on CBS.
Holy cow! He's down the sideline. Touchdown!
Don't miss the premiere of The Great Indoors with Joel McHale, CBS October 27th.
Were the judges right in saying we're the best tasting light beer? You be the judge. Spelled different because it's brewed different.
You can hear it. That little voice. The one that's telling you don't. Don't do anything you might regret. But this is the new world. You can be whoever you want.
A man attacked me in a parking garage, tried to stab me with an 8-inch knife. But I carry a pistol. I fight back. That's why I'm still here. Every woman has a right to defend herself with a gun if she chooses. Hillary Clinton disagrees with that. Don't let politicians take away your right to own a gun. Donald Trump supports my right to own a gun. Defend your rights. Vote Donald Trump for president.
The NRA Institute for Legislative Action is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Once you get in the Army, you hear the term Ranger, and you look at it as the highest standards. I was extremely proud to be part of the 1st Ranger Battalion. When I was deployed, I knew that USAA was taking care of my wife when she was back home. And now I know with my son, the USAA will continue to provide the insurance and protection we need.
They always say, you've served your country, so we're here to serve you.
My name is Alejandro Villanueva, and I'm a USAA member for life.
Call USAA today to talk about your insurance needs.
Today, we're talking about automotive awards. Which one of these awards appeals most to you?
Top safety pick, mid-size car, and SUV.
Most dependable means a lot to me.
The green car, because I like fuel efficiency.
What if there was a car company that received all of these awards?
One company won an award in all these? Chevy.
Chevy.
Chevrolet is the most awarded car company of the last 2 years.
I love it. It's fierce.
How would you sum this car up in one word?
Incredible, amazing. I can't use one word.
Apparently, Bud Light wants to play politics. Miller Lite has more taste, fewer calories, and half the carbs. Well, that's one easy debate. Miller Lite, spelled different because it's brewed different.
You are watching NFL Sunday Ticket.
Well, Bill O'Brien has the Houston Texans atop the AFC South standings at 3-1, but today faced their stiffest test yet against Mike Zimmer and the Vikings. Today's game is being broadcast in Spanish. We're available using the SAP button on your television.
Presenting the Subway Fresh Buzz, served to you by Subway Restaurants. The Falcons' Robert Alford had a pair of picks against the Panthers last week. But the big story in Atlanta's win over Carolina was a historic performance by quarterback Matt Ryan and receiver Julio Jones. They became the first teammates to throw for 500 yards and catch for 300 yards in the same game.
How do you stay fresh in a world where tastes and priorities are always changing? If you're Subway, you start by removing the artificial preservatives, colors, and flavors from your food. Support hundreds of growers, including many family-run farms. Serve customers 390 million pounds of fresh veggies. Offer packaging that's better for the planet, and use your size and resources to create healthy change around the world. Because the best way to stay fresh is to never get stale.
CBS Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Vikings legendary quarterback. U.S. Bank Stadium, first official day game in the history. New stadium in downtown Minneapolis, and it is incredible. And here is the former Viking great Tommy Kramer to blow the horn. Kramer, the former Vikings quarterback, one of the all-time greats in the history of this franchise. Salman, we've been in A lot of NFL stadiums over the years, this place is off the charts.
It is wonderful, and boy, the crowd, they get fired up. They start blowing that Viking horn, and they're ready to go medieval. I'm excited for today's game.
Houston won the toss, they defer, and so the Vikings will open with possession of the football. How about a little change up here in terms of the kick? That's Brian Peters, their linebacker, kicking it to the end zone on a bounce. This is Cordero Patterson fielding, and he is brought down at the 16-yard line. An official return of 16 for Patterson. So a bit of a shake-up there with Houston special teams. And here comes Sam Bradford. Think of everything this kid has been through over the past couple of years. Couple of devastating knee injuries, 2 career-altering trades, and it's an incredible 3-game start to his Vikings career.
Well, he admitted that he is enjoying playing the game. He said, I've learned to just take it 1 week at a time and just enjoy the moment. And boy, he has to be enjoying himself as they've gotten off to that 4-0 start.
First and 10 as Minnesota begins from their own 16. In the face of pressure, a pass intended for Jerick McKinnon falls incomplete. How about the starters for a Minnesota offense that, despite the 4-0 start, is towards the bottom of mostly every offensive category? Jeremiah Searles has to start. Andre Smith, their usual starter, out with an elbow, and Adam Thielen makes the start for Stephon Diggs, their #1 wide receiving target, who is out today with a groin injury. 2nd and 10 from the 16. Bradford with the give to McKinnon. Penalty markers fly right after that ball was snapped. Christian Covington on the tackle.
Offside. Number 90. Defense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 2nd down.
It's on Clowney. Jeff Triplett is our referee. Minnesota taking on this Houston defense that has been so good for Bill O'Brien and Romeo Crennel through the first 4 games of the season. Where does Bradford go here on 2nd and 5 after the Houston penalty? Bradford, quick strike out of the gun, completes far side of the field. It is caught. That's Patterson, who's got a first down for the Vikings. And now the aforementioned Houston defense, top 10 in most major defensive categories. Christian Covington continues to start in J.J. Watt's old spot. Brian Cushing making a very speedy return from that MCL sprain return last weekend. On the back end, no Kareem Jackson, their longtime starter, at one corner opposite Jonathan Joseph, and so Kevin Johnson makes the start. There's Romeo Crennel, their defensive coordinator. 3rd year in that spot alongside Bill O'Brien. 1st and 10 from just inside the 30. This is McKinnon, who has gotten the majority of their reps over the past couple of weeks since the injury to AP, a pickup of 7. Solid, what are we looking for early?
Well, for Houston, it really is about trying to replace J.J. Watt. You know, no Watt, no problem means you have to have some energy. And then for Mike Zimmer's Minnesota Vikings, the wide receivers have to step it up, and they can't be missing in action today. They've got to find a way to produce. Only 1 receiving touchdown by a wide receiver this year by Stephon Diggs.
2nd and 3 after a good first down play. This is McKinnon again. Through Day-Lay, crosses the 40. First down run and more. McKinnon a pickup of 8 as they move the chains again.
Now the Vikings come into this game with the league's worst rushing attack, only averaging 64 yards a game. And then watch McKinnon. Now he's a guy that can be very slippery. He's better than you think. He can break tackles. And if he can generate a run game for this offense, it'd be great.
Rushed for 85 yards in that run last week. McKinnon blown up this time in the backfield. In that game last week, the first game that they have rushed for 100 yards as a team. And so, as you point out, if they can figure out the running game now, moving forward with some consistency, this team will be even more difficult to deal with.
Yeah, it's the worst rushing offense, but you can see the Houston Texans haven't been that great at stopping the run. This Texans defense is good in just about every single category except for their run defense. So that's an area that is going to be tested.
2nd and 12 as they line up at the 42. This is Bradford. Throws far side of the field, and he's got Thielen wide open. First down on the catch. 23 yards on the strike from Bradford.
Well, Thielen is a guy that really, he knows how to get open. And he's going to be working up top here. It's what we call that 7 route. And this is where Bradford has always been good in terms of his ball placement and delivery, quick release. His timing and tempo within the passing game has always been good. And I think here, playing in North Turner's offense, we're seeing him play as well as we've ever seen him play.
His 6th career start for Thielen, 14th catch of the season. Change at the running back. This is Matt Asiata on his first take, and he is leveled by Clowney.
Wow.
Injured Viking guard is Brandon Fusco, the 6th-year man out of Slippery Rock.
There's Clowney there. We saw him with these kind of deep clears when he was coming out of South Carolina, which made him the first overall pick in the draft. It was a slow developing play. It's why he was able to come right off the edge and smack Matt Asiata right in the kisser.
Well, this Minnesota offensive line that has had to deal with a number of injuries already this season. As Fusco is escorted to the sideline, so Zach Karen, their 2nd-year guard out of Toledo, former undrafted rookie a couple of years back, will come in at least for the moment. 2nd and 12. Just a couple of minutes gone by in this first quarter. This is Bradford's going to take the shot. He's got his man wide open. It's Thielen for the Minnesota touchdown. 36 yards from Bradford.
And Spiro, we said the wide receivers had to make a play, come out of that witness protection program. They can't be missing in action. It's a nice double move by Thielen. Watch at the top. He's going to come here, and then he just beats Jonathan Joseph with that double move. And watch this laser-like throw from Sam Bradford. That's the double move on the outside, and Jonathan Joseph never gets beat on those kind of plays, but he bit on the move by Thielen. Thielen's making a play for his quarterback, and if this Vikings offense can get to a good lead, we know their defense will pour it on.
First touchdown of the season for Thielen. And that Houston defense, #1 in the league in pass defense, entering week 5. Give up a big play there. Blair Walsh, who has been struggling with his kicking this season, able to boot in the point after. Thielen on the 36-yard touchdown strike from Bradford.
We're Southwest, and we have one word for you. Yes. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. Yes to rewards you can actually use. How you like us now? In a world full of no, we're a plane full of yes. That's transparency.
I will follow you. Ever since you touched my hand, I knew. I love you, I love you, I love you. Where you go, I'll follow, I'll follow, I'll follow. You'll always be my true love, my true love, my true love. Forever.
They say a lot of things about rain. Like how hard it's gonna fall. The things it does to your parade. We've got a saying about rain too. When it rains, it roars. The all-wheel drive lineup from Dodge. Domestic, not domesticated.
Now get 20% off MSRP cash allowance for an average of $6,400 in savings on select 2016 Journey Crossroad models in dealer stock.
Throughout our history, the world has witnessed medical discoveries once thought impossible. Now the future of medicine will take its next giant leap here at Bunker Hill. At this hospital, there is no limit to what we can do. Welcome to the revolution.
Well, this kid Adam Thielen has been an overachiever, made the Vikings practice squad after an open tryout back in 2013. Today making only the 6th start of his career. He has been, at least before the last couple of years, primarily a special teams player. And no Stephon Diggs Solomon. So far, no problem for Minnesota.
Yeah, with Diggs out, he came into the game with the only touchdown by a Minnesota Vikings wide receiver so far this year. Now Thielen cashes in.
This one is played by Braxton Miller. Missed the last couple of games with a hamstring injury. Miller will be their slot receiver this afternoon as he is brought down by Andrew Sendejo. And we'll get our first look at Brock Osweiler. Still trying to find his footing. 4 starts into his Houston career, 2 picks as he continues to make some mistakes in the early going of his Houston tenure.
But overall, he's been good. And that's why they're 3-1 so far this year. They have the good defense. But there are times when he tries to force the ball into DeAndre Hopkins when he's double covered, and it's come back to bite him.
We'll start from the 17 on 1st and 10. Osweiler off the play action, completes on the run. That's the tight end Ryan Griffin, who's starting to factor into this Houston offense. Starters in front of Osweiler. Dwayne Brown makes his season debut. Missed the first 4 weeks with that torn quad injury. Welcome sight. Will Fuller leads all NFL rookie receivers in receiving yards and is their #1 target through the first 4 games of the season. 2nd and 7. Play action from Osweiler. All day to throw, nowhere to go with it, and will throw it out of bounds as that back end of the Minnesota secondary holding tight. Starters for Mike Zimmer's defense at the top of almost every defensive category. Shamar Stephen making the start. No Sharif Floyd, still a couple of weeks away from making his return. Anthony Barr, one of the headliners in the linebacking unit, and Xavier Rhodes quickly becoming the NFL's newest shutdown corner. Today trying to deal with DeAndre Hopkins. Third and 7. Osweiler fires and it's incomplete. Intended for Jalen Strong, and the Texans will punt.
Osweiler just didn't collect himself, didn't gather his feet. Look at the footwork. See, rushes this throw right there. And this is just an inaccurate throw because he did have Strong open over to the left side as pressure was coming into the face of Brock Osweiler. Every pass is going to be contested by this Vikings defense today.
Shane Leckler, 1,300th career punt of his 17-year career. This is Marcus Sherrills returning, crosses the 40. And he is tackled after a 47-yard punt by Max Bullis. 7-0 Vikings on CBS.
Well, if you want to sing out, sing out. And if you want to be free, be free. 'Cause there's a million things to be, you know that there are. You can do what you want. The opportunities are. You can make it all true. And you can make it undo. You see. You only need to know. And if you want to be me, be me. And if you want to be you, be you. 'Cause there's a million things to do. You know that there are, you know that there are.
Nobody comes into this house without paying the price.
Not here! Not ever!
State Farm knows that for every one of those moments, there's one of these.
Nobody comes into this house without paying the price. Not here, not ever.
Well, did you get it?
More people save money by combining their home and auto with State Farm. Here to help life go right. State Farm.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. State Farm. Talk to an agent today at 800-STATE-FARM. And by the new 2017 Jeep Grand Cherokee. Jeep free to be.
U.S. Bank Stadium, this architectural masterpiece that they have constructed in downtown Minneapolis. First official day game in the history of this place. Salman, you played in the Metrodome over the years. This place is just incredible. First and 10 as Minnesota's offense back onto the field. Quick strike. This is Patterson, who has figured much more frequently into their offense over the past couple of weeks. Tackled on the play by John Simon.
First possession of the game, Adam Thielen comes alive for these Minnesota Vikings. 23-yard catch against Jonathan Joseph, and then excellent double move. Now watch the eyes of Joseph. They're in the backfield. When you take your eye off your coverage and looking at the quarterback, great throw by Sam Bradford, beating Jonathan Joseph for the 36-yard touchdown. So Thielen is waking up and making plays on this offense.
This is the Wildcat formation. No surprise, McKinnon, former triple option quarterback at Georgia Southern, a third-round pick in 2014, a pickup of 6. Looked like Houston wasn't ready for it.
Well, what did Mike Zimmer tell us? That they're going to have to manufacture rush yards. They're dead last in rushing. We already said it. You saw the quick screen over to Cordero Patterson, and then with a Wildcat to McKinnon. That's how they're going to manufacture some yards in an untraditional way.
First down on the play by Minnesota. Pump fake from Bradford. First down pass down the side intended for Thielen, and that falls incomplete. Tomorrow on CBS, CY TV Guide calls Scorpion TV's smartest drama. Tomorrow at a new time, 10/9 Central, only CBS. There's Norv Turner, one of 3 former NFL head coaches on Mike Zimmer's staff. He has figured some things out, certainly with all the injuries that they've had. No Teddy Bridgewater, a devastating injury. AP going down week 2. But Norv Turner has found some magic with Bradford in this unit.
Hey,
Second and 10, high snap fielded by Bradford. They keep it on the ground to McKinnon. And speaking of injuries, it really is something that is just hard to comprehend. The players that have gone down, Diggs and Smith, the latest scratches, but the devastating injury of Teddy Bridgewater on August the 30th. Matt Khalil, their left tackle, and of course AP, their all-world running back. And all that said, Salman, to be 4-0, really remarkable.
It is. You're missing some of your best football players, and your running back Adrian Peterson, the quarterback Teddy Bridgewater, and then Matt Khalil at left tackle.
3rd and 6. Bradford from the gun gets rid of it quickly. That's Asiata down the sideline and all the way to the Houston 15. We'll see where the officials spot it. 23 yards on the play by Asiata.
Well, he's just going to come out. Then watch the linebacker and the safety. You're going to see Asiata here, comes out of the backfield. But watch the linebackers. Look, they're going to bump into one another right there on the outside. That was number 35, the safety, Eddie Pleasant.
Bradford gets him to the line quickly. Houston was scurrying to get defenders on the field. They were not prepared for that. A couple of penalty flags fly in from the Texans secondary, as Thielen was the man who made the catch.
Too many men. Defense. It's a 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
It's all about up-tempo. Try to catch this defense off balance. And now look at Romeo Crennel's defense is on the ropes. They have to be able to turn back this Vikings offense. Can't give up a touchdown here. Fall behind 14-0. They've got to be able to put pressure on Sam Bradford, but cover these quick-hitting pass plays.
1st and 5 after the penalty. Another run play called by McKinnon. Second effort gets him inside the 5. Brought down finally by Bernardrick McKinney, but they pick up 8 more. It'll be 1st and goal.
Watch this move that McKinnon puts on A.J. Boyer right there. Now that's just what we call creating yards by beating the first unblocked defender. That's being creative. Looking like Adrian Peterson inside the red zone.
1st and goal. This is McKinnon again. So this Houston defense that has been so good through the first 4 weeks, playing on its heels here, already down 7-0. 7 and change left in the quarter.
And one of the reasons why the Vikings offense has been good down inside the red zones because of their tight end Kyle Rudolph. He's 6'6". He's a big body guy at 260 pounds. you better cover him, and you may have to put more than one defender on him. Now, A.J. Boyd has been really good at defending against tight ends. Let's see how Houston will match up on him, and let's see if the Vikings will go to him.
2nd and goal. Asiata trying to find the end zone. Texans front able to hold. And now late flag comes in from the defensive side of the football.
Well, the Vikings have done a good job of running the football here in the early going against this defense. Not so sure what this infraction might entail.
Personal foul. Face mask, number 90 of the defense. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
That's on Clowney.
Number 62 reports is eligible. Number 62 is eligible.
Well, this is going to come on the back end of the play. He's being manhandled by Easton on that play.
9th play of the drive for the Vikings. Asiata. No signal yet. Touchdown, Vikings.
I got to tell you, Nick Easton has come in. He's playing that guard position, and he is just dominating against Jadeveon Clowney, blowing him off the line of scrimmage, creating some room for Asiata, who's more of their power runner. Look at this. They're knocking white jerseys back, and look at Easton right there against Clowney. Right there on the edge. Clowney does get some penetration, but give credit to the Minnesota Vikings offensive line, getting movement as they jump out 14-0.
So Joe Berger, the man who started at center for Minnesota, replaced on that drive by Nick Easton, 2nd-year man out of Harvard. And he factors into that scoring play with Minnesota jumping out to a 2-touchdown lead. Point after by Blair Walsh is perfect. And the Vikings dominance continuing here in week 5. 14-0. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
You love all-day breakfast.
I love all-day breakfast.
But you don't love that you can't get all your favorites all day.
But I want McGriddles, too.
But now you'll love that you can get more all day, like those McGriddles.
Yeah, I do love that.
So you'll have to find something else to not love, like dog strollers. Or football players who stress the word "the."
The Glencoe Brooks State Community College.
Or inappropriately timed political discussions.
It's as if it didn't even matter.
Get more choices you love, now with all-day breakfast.
You followed me in here. That was a mistake. Really? Fellas?
Jack Reacher, rated PG-13.
I'm Jamie Foxx for Verizon. In the nation's largest independent study by Root Metrics, again, Verizon is the #1 network.
Hi, I'm Jamie Foxx for Sprint. And I'm Jamie Foxx for T-Mobile. And we're just as good.
Really? Only Verizon was ranked #1 nationally in data, reliability, text and call, and speed. Yeah. And you're gonna fist pump today? Get out of my sight.
Don't get fooled by a cut rate network. Verizon gives you tons of data without all the restrictions. Get 20 gigs and 4 lines for only $160 with no surprise overages on America's best network.
You're under no obligation to say anything. Can you state your whereabouts last night?
You told me not to say anything.
Jack Reacher in IMAX October 21st, rated PG-13. October 27th, it's Men versus Millennial.
I'm Clark, online content curator.
Hi, Clark. Obviously made up job title.
The Great Indoors premieres October 27th.
Well, people affected by severe weather and other disasters need help now. To support those impacted by Hurricane Matthew, you can text Matthew to 90999. Each text is a $10 gift to American Red Cross Hurricane Relief. Our thoughts with all of those people affected by the devastation of that hurricane this week. Spiro Dita, Solomon Wilcox, rest of our CBS crew, all Vikings up 14-0.
The Vikings said they wanted to dominate on 1st and 2nd down. That's exactly what they've done. They've only converted 1 third down play in the game, and here they find themselves up 14-0.
All the talk about their offense having to catch up with what the defense has done. They have been nearly flawless so far in this first quarter. Tyler Irvin taking a knee. Osweiler will have it from the 25 when we come back.
Have you ever had a vacuum in your car that you fell in love with? Well, you're about to.
Current owners or lessees of FCA or competitive vehicles finance and get $2,000 total cash allowance on the all-new Chrysler Pacifica.
What is that?
Man, I don't know. Ask Google.
Pizza Hut makes great pizza, but they can't tell you what a gift it is. They took a grilled cheese and combined it with stuffed crust pizza. Eat every slice like it's your last! The grilled cheese stuffed crust pizza. Proof that no one outpieces the Hut.
Can tile fake you out? Well, that wood is actually tile. So's the brick and the marble. This is the next generation of tile. Get Traffic Master 18 by 18 Portland stone ceramic tile, just 78 cents a square foot. The Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
Catch the season premiere of Mom, CBS Thursday, October 27th.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut. And by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
Well, both Mike Zimmer and Bill O'Brien cut their teeth and learned from some of the best head coaches in the history of the sport as their chess match continues in this opening quarter. 14-0 Minnesota. This is Lamar Miller trying to find the edge. Tackled on the play by Eric Kendricks. And one thing about the Vikings with how good they are, Solomon, defensively, have to be careful here if you're the Texans down a couple of touchdowns.
Yeah, Mike Zimmer, there's no doubt he wants to drop the hammer on this Texan team early. With this big lead, they want to be able to pin their ears back, turn that front four on this defensive line and come after Brock Osweiler. He's got to protect the football.
Second and 9. This is Miller off the give from Osweiler, able to cross the 30-yard line. Well, there's been a 3-year transformation here under Mike Zimmer as he has the Vikings atop the NFL standings at 4-0.
Yeah, he's built it through the defense. Number one in takeaway, second in terms of points allowed, and then they know how to hit, hurry, and harass the quarterback. Second most sacks in the NFL.
Lamar Miller lines up at the bottom of your picture here on a critical 3rd and 5 for the Texans. And they'll take a timeout. This has quickly become one of the hardest venues to play in the NFL, as Bill O'Brien and company have to burn their first time out.
When they give you that double-A blitz look, that really confuses the protection. It confuses the quarterback. And see, there you have it right there. When those two linebackers, Eric Kendricks and Anthony Barr, they line up in that A gap, it really stresses the protection. It stresses the quarterback. We told you they want to pin their ears back and come hit them. They can't figure it out. Forced to burn a timeout.
Osweiler on 3rd and 5. Quick strike, batted down. Kendricks got his hand on it, and it's incomplete. So back-to-back 3-and-outs for Houston to start.
Kendricks doing a really good job. He had lined up in that A gap, but he knew he had Lamar Miller in man-to-man coverage. He was able to pull out of that blitz look and still provide coverage on Lamar Miller. They're athletic linebackers that allow a great deal of flexibility in Mike Zimmer's defense.
Kendricks, the second-year man out of UCLA, was the NFC's Defensive Player of the Week after that fantastic Week 1 performance for Minnesota. This is Sherrills trying to find some open space up the sideline. Officials will spot him right around the 30, 54 yards on the punt, and 14 on the return by Sherrills.
During the kick, holding number 94, the return team. 10-yard penalty, first down, timeout.
14-0 Vikings as Minnesota looks for more on CBS.
This is the house of the passionate. This is the house of the brave. And this is the house of their beer. Casa Modelo, home of the clean, crisp taste of Especial and the rich, smooth flavor of Negra. Quality beers since 1925.
Assists, completions. He's Mr. Instant Meeting, Ed Feldman.
Press 1 to lead your team onto the meeting field. Start your free trial at gotomeeting.com.
When looking for a van to take your business to the next level, look for more. With the Ram ProMaster and ProMaster City, you can do more, handle more, organize more, and get more out of every drop, all for less. During commercial van season, competitive commercial owners or lessees are eligible for these incentives on the 2016 Ram ProMaster.
CBS this Monday, the Two Broke Girls are back.
Ding, ding, ding!
With a season premiere that guarantees to deliver.
It'll be at least 5 hours. You're a mother. Also gesundheit.
The Two Broke Girls season premiere, CBS Monday.
You are watching the NFL on CBS.
Thursday, your weekend starts here when the Denver Broncos take on the San Diego Chargers. Thursday Night Football, CBS and NFL Network. Back with you from U.S. Bank Stadium. The Minnesota Vikings, if you have just joined us, throwing an uppercut punch. Up 2 touchdowns already.
Yeah, they're just racking up the yards, and Houston can't get anything going with only 8 yards of total offense so far in this game.
Texans already a 2-game lead atop the AFC South. And so have not beaten the team with a winning record so far this season. Right now failing in their first big test of 2016. This Jerick McKinnon unable to get to the line of scrimmage. We send you to New York in an update with JB.
What rust with Tom Brady, Boomer? Well, no rust whatsoever. You talk about an uppercut punch. Spiro, how about 8 of 10, 129 yards, that touchdown to Martellus Bennett. They take a 14-7 lead over the Browns. Back to Spiro and Solomon.
Yeah, Boomer, that might be an overhand right. Uppercut comes first, then the overhand right. Right, Spiro?
Got to soften him up a little bit. 2nd and 9. After they gave McKinnon a yard on the play with his forward progress. This is Bradford just outside his own end zone, completes. It's Jarius Wright, who has not figured much into this offense, but with some of the injuries that they've had, no Stephon Diggs today. Wright, who was inactive weeks 1, 2, and 4, getting a chance.
For Norv Turner, what he wants for Sam Bradford is to keep the offense in rhythm. That means be successful on 1st and 2nd down, quick rhythm passing, create 3rd and medium like you see here with 3rd 5. Now you can go with the bubble screen or hitch pass over to Cordero Patterson.
See out of the lone setback. And some movement pre-snap on the right side of that offensive line.
Number 78, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
It's Jeremiah Searles, who's making only his 2nd career start, with Andre Smith out with the elbow injury.
And now you put the offense at a disadvantage when you're facing 3rd and long. And that's where the Houston Texans have been really good. One of the best 3rd down defenses in the National Football League.
Bradford from the gun, trying to elude the pressure, and he cannot. Where will the officials spot it here? Appears to be just outside of the end zone. Whitney Merciless and Antonio Smith dump him for a loss of 7, and the Vikings just barely avert disaster.
You know, they tried to snap the ball real quick, but you can see Merciless, he comes right now. I mean, he beats the tackle T.J. Clemens right away to put pressure on Sam Bradford. Vikings very fortunate what didn't result into a safety.
So both of Bradford's feet still on the field of play outside the end zone. So Jeff Locke for the Vikings. This is Tyler Irvin's going to play it inside Vikings territory, inside the 40. And Houston will have by far their best starting field position of the day. Cordero Patterson has done a little bit of everything for Mike Zimmer in terms of special teams on the stop. 55 yards on the punt, 18 on the return. We'll see what the flag is here. Way back at the Vikings 19. One area where Jeff Locke has been very good is Minnesota's punter. Entering today, they had only allowed 16 return yards on punts. So that's something that Minnesota has not had to contend with, as they give up 18 on that return alone. Our referee is Jeff Triplett. Extended conference with his mates. Here's the call.
There is no foul for a blindside block as the block occurred into the chest.
All right, so they pick up the flag, and Osweiler will have it from the Vikings 38. I'll see what everybody is laughing about. Kevin Can Wait, TV's #1 new comedy. Kevin James stars tomorrow after the Big Bang Theory, only CBS. US Bank Stadium, downtown Minneapolis. 14-0 Vikings. Texans, as you saw, have gone 2 3-and-outs to start their offensive day. Osweiler throwing off his back foot, finds Miller, taking on a tackler. It was Kendricks there who got bulldozed, but still able to make the stop. It's a pickup of 4.
And essentially, the Houston Texans, they're going to have to get the run game going with Lamar Miller. These linebackers, Eric Kendricks, Anthony Barr, very active behind a really good defensive front of the Minnesota Vikings.
Second and 6. Little delayed handoff to Miller. A lot made of the amount of touches we've seen from Miller so far his first 4 games as a Texan, averaging over 26 of them to lead the NFL.
We talk about the chess match between Bill O'Brien calling plays on offense for Houston, Mike Zimmer on the other side, the head coach calling plays for his defense. And they're very good at shutting down your run game, because just like we showed that double-A blitz against the quarterback, they want to blitz your run also.
Third and 5. Osweiler steps up, far side, and that pass well short of Griffin. And Osweiler has just been off in this first quarter.
Well, they're forcing Osweiler to play from an unclean pocket. Watch how they shrink it. Stop it right there. See how they just able to shrink that pocket? And that's why he could not step up and drive that ball outside. Just was no room to operate to be able to complete that pass.
Even with his frame at 6'8", going to struggle to get the football out to Ryan Griffin. Nick Novak going to attempt a 51-yarder, not even close. Wide right. So a drive that began at the Minnesota 38 ends without any points.
Oh, there's a missed opportunity. They had great field position, as you mentioned, Spiro, but then to not be able to convert, pick up a first down, and then to miss this field goal where you have plenty of leg, but he pushed it wide right. And then you give the ball back to the Vikings at their own 40-yard line. Bill O'Brien says, wow, we can't catch a break.
There's Novak, veteran kicker. Unable to salvage those 3 points. At 14-0 Vikings as their offense takes over. This is Patterson able to find the edge, and Patterson who had that solid rookie season, 9 touchdown catches back in 2013 in Zimmer's doghouse in 2014. Suddenly back into the fold here in this offense.
He's going to line in the backfield, come around this way. And this is how they're going to, what we call manufacture rush yards. He has the big, strong body. He's very quick and strong at the point of attack. You see him breaking tackles there. He'll lower the shoulder. He's a wide receiver, but he runs it as if he's a running back.
North Turner again lines up his unit in the Wildcat. This is McKinnon. And so that time Houston's defense was not fooled. Christian Covington on the tackle. It'll be 3rd down coming up with about a half-minute left.
No, normally you get across that 50, North Turner, that 45 or 40-yard line. They like to go ahead and try to take a shot. If they can get the matchups that they want. Thielen's been good at getting down the field. They've yet to go to their talented tight end, Kyle Rudolph.
Should be the final play of the quarter. 3rd and 7 from the 45. Here comes the blitz. Bradford stuck on the throw. He finds his man nonetheless. It's right. And Bradford takes a lick from Whitney Merciless. A pickup of 10 as Minnesota moves the chains. End of 1 in Minneapolis. We'll return after these messages. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
Heroes like the Avengers protect the world from physical dangers. We safeguard it against more mystical threats.
Come with me.
Why are you showing this to me?
Because I believe you can save the world and defend it from those who would make it their own. Are you ready, Mr. Strange?
It's Doctor, actually.
Rated PG-13.
Red 97! Set! Red 97!
Did you say 97?
Yes.
You know, that reminds me of Geico's 97% customer satisfaction rating.
97%?
Helped by Geico's fast and friendly claim service. Huh.
Oh yeah, baby. Geico's as fast and friendly as it gets.
Geico. Expect great savings and a whole lot more.
Well, right now, all our new plans come with no data overages.
We'll finally be in control.
And we're back.
Introducing new AT&T plans with no data overage charges.
Badger Brewster is back on Criminal Minds.
This unsub is jumping through a whole lot of hoops to hide these bodies. Brace yourselves.
New Criminal Minds. Then, an explosion at Angels Memorial throws the ER into chaos.
We're gonna get you out of here.
Code Black after Criminal Minds. New CBS Wednesday.
We are back at U.S. Bank Stadium, and watch Whitney Merciless. He's going to come all the way around here, and he's going to smack Sam Bradford right in the chops. But Bradford's tough. He hangs in there, still able to complete this pass to Jarris Wright to pick up the 1st down. But boy, he gets crushed by Whitney Merciless. Look at the back of his head hits that turf. He's able to get up and stay in the game. And right now, look, the Vikings are going with their form of a wildcat.
So Bradford will line up at the top of your screen.
Yeah.
And McKinnon, who has already taken a couple of direct snaps in his first half, lines up in that wildcat. Running play called to Asiata. Have to wonder if Bradford is okay after you saw his head snap back. Stays on the field at least for the moment. You know, this is someone who is certainly no stranger to injuries and having his body banged around in the NFL.
Yeah, we said it at the top. The only thing you ever question with Sam Bradford is, can he stay healthy? Whenever he's been able to play, he's been able to play very well. I think more than an above average quarterback. We saw the toughness there as he stood and took that hit and still was able to complete that pass. His accuracy and ball placement, even when blitzed, is at a really good level.
Yet to throw a pick, and this offense yet to turn it over amazingly through 4 weeks of the season. Quick strike by Bradford finds Thielen, who had the touchdown earlier. We go to New York, JB and Boomer.
An effective Colts drive. And you talk about a tough quarterback there, Sully. How about Andrew Luck? 4th and goal right there. 1-yard touchdown pass to Dwayne Allen. They take a lead over the Bears, 10-3.
Spiro Dedes and Solomon Wilcox.
That's right, Boomer. Andrew Luck's had to prove it to be tough as any linebacker in this league with all the hits he's taken in Indianapolis.
Colts trying to get their season going. 3rd and 1. This is Asiata able to move the chains as he ducks inside the 35-yard line. And already saw him in North Turner going deep into his playbook. We're seeing a little bit of everything from a number of offensive players.
Yeah, it's really about using the talent you have on this roster. Without Adrian Peterson, North Turner is having to resort to some creativity to run the football.
See the time of possession owned so far by the Vikings. Bradford probes the defense, nowhere to go with it, throws it out of bounds. And the magic that North Turner has worked with Bradford after he was thrown into the playbook, acquired in that trade 8 days before the opener, just a testament to the kind of offensive coach Turner is.
He's had to tweak his system just to accommodate Sam Bradford. Sam Bradford came from that wordy West Coast offense to a number system. And so maybe a play that normally would be called, say, 572 H-arrow F9 swing. They've given you just one word, warrior. Warrior tells you everything that you need to do, because he's come from a system that used words into a system now that uses numbers.
A little bit easier to digest as Bradford and Minnesota have to burn a timeout. So it'll be a 2nd and 10 coming up. And so far it has been a Sunday afternoon walk in the park for Minnesota, up a couple of touchdowns.
Well, he really came out on fire in that very first possession. We said that some of the wide receivers had to make plays with Stephon Diggs out. Adam Thielen provides the touchdown over Jonathan Joseph to get out to a 7-0 lead. And then they march right down the field on their very second possession. 9 plays, 55 yards. 1-yard touchdown run by Matt Asiata. Vikings jump out 14-0. The defense is clicking, not allowing Brock Osweiler and Bill O'Brien to get their offense going. So right now the Vikings are playing their style of football, and that's what their head coach Mike Zimmer talked about. He said, I believe they're starting to take on my personality. They're starting to play with a chip on their shoulder.
Injury update for the Texans. Jonathan Joseph being evaluated for a concussion, and their starting safety Quentin Demps being looked at with a calf, questionable to return. 2nd and 10. Bradford strikes and finds McKinnon. First down Minnesota on the catch and run. Run out of bounds by Cushing and McKinney, a pickup of 10.
McKinnon is doing one heck of a job. We already saw him running the football. He's played some quarterback in the Wildcat, but then be able to sneak out of the backfield beyond those linebackers, and he's moving the chain. So he's factoring in every phase of the game on offense for the Vikings.
So suddenly the back end of that Texans secondary like a mash unit. Already down there, one starting corner, Kareem Jackson. First and 10, Bradford's throw is too high, intended for Rudolph, who has had a pretty emotional week. Played Monday night in that home win over the Giants, and his wife Jordan giving birth to twin girls late on Tuesday night. Hasn't got much sleep.
Pretty hard to overthrow your 6'6" tight end, but Vince Wilfork was bearing down on Bradford, forced a high throw.
This is 2nd and 10. A delayed handoff off the pump fake by Bradford. McKinnon inching a little bit closer to the 20. Well, this was one of the early photographs of the new dad. He and his wife Jordan becoming parents for the first time. What a week for them.
It's been great. Yeah, he's happy. A proud Cincinnati kid. He's got 2 beautiful twin girls. What a delight.
Finley Claire and Anderson Kate born late Tuesday night. Yeah. And he says his wife has been fantastic, letting him get as much sleep as he can. And strike by Bradford finds the target. Jerry is right. A pickup of 10, and it will be first down. Minnesota, tackled by Charles James.
Can't say enough about the accuracy and the ball placement on these throws by Bradford. Look, see how it's out in front of the receiver, leads him away from the defender, allows him to be able to hit that first down marker. So his accuracy is beyond good. In fact, it's excellent because it allows him to create yards after the catch. Really throws the ball away from the defender.
So first down, goal to goal from the 10. McKinnon tackled for a loss in the backfield. Clowney was right there, and McKinnon never had a chance. Look at the quarterback comparison. Like everything else right now, Solomon on the stats monitor, dominated by Minnesota.
Yeah, time of possession, overall yards, keeping the ball away from Brock Osweiler and his offense, and keeping his receivers sidelined. And Sam Bradford's been red hot for this football team.
12th play of the drive for the Vikings that began at their own 41. There's a pass. Patterson catches, lunges in. The football comes loose, but the officials say he was already down by contact, so it'll be a 15-yard hookup. Bradford to Patterson.
This is that wide receiver screen we were talking about. Just that little hitch. They get blockers out in front.
Number 62 reports is eligible. Number 62 is eligible.
His knee is clearly down on this play, Spiro, right there. Well before the ball game.
So third and goal, just outside the 1. Bradford looking end zone, incomplete. And the Texans with a much-needed stop there. Intended receiver was the fullback Zach Line, the fourth-year man out of SMU.
Pleasant was the last guy to come running out on the field really late, and he's able to make a play on the ball and keep the fullback Zach Line from making this catch. Had he not gotten out on the field, or maybe had they snapped it sooner, Vikings would have had an easy touchdown.
And here's Blair Walsh, who hit on a couple of point afters. He has missed 5 kicks, 3 field goals, and 2 point afters so far this season. Of course, that missed chip shot in the playoff loss to Seattle last January, but so far so good today. Walsh boots it in from 19, and Minnesota tacks on 3 on CBS.
If you can dream it, you can do it. In the all-new Ridgeline from Honda.
I've had a wonderful time tonight.
Me too.
Call me tomorrow?
I'm going to send a vague text in a couple days that leaves you confused about my level of interest.
I'll wait a full 2 days before responding.
Perfect. We're never going to see each other again, will we?
No.
Wouldn't it be great if everyone said what they meant? The Citi Double Cash Card does. It lets you earn double cash back. 1% when you buy and 1% as you pay. The Citi Double Cash Card. Double means double.
Deluxe Kids character costumes.
Greetings, classmates.
58 different costume options available. $15. Save money, live better. Walmart.
We believe that light beer shouldn't compromise on taste. And we hold true to that belief. We have to. It's tattooed on our neck. Spelled different because it's brewed different.
CBS Tuesday.
Don't pay the money, I'll be executed.
How far will this team go
We are just trying to save our son!
I promise you, we're gonna do everything we can
to bring a hostage home?
NCIS isn't sanctioned to carry out a rescue mission.
That's not how we do things down here.
A new NCIS New Orleans, CBS Tuesday.
15 plays, 58 yards on the Vikings scoring drive, covered just over 3.5 minutes. And it stalls inside that Houston 5. So Blair Walsh, 19-yard field goal, 17-0 Texans. Spiro Ditas, Solomon Wilcots, rest of our crew from US Bank Stadium. First official day game in history of this brand new $1.1 billion stadium. Tyler Urban crosses the 15 and brought down right outside the 20. 17-0. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
Crowds in
Everyone is ready for the next-gen iPhone. And so is Verizon, with the only next-gen network that lets you make the most of it. LTE Advanced delivers 50% faster peak speeds to over 450 cities coast to coast. The next-gen iPhone deserves the next-gen network. And right now, get our best offer, iPhone 7 for $99.
You love all-day breakfast.
I love all-day breakfast.
But you don't love that you can't get all your favorites all day.
I don't love that.
But now you're going to love that you can get more all day, like McGriddles.
I love McGriddles.
So you'll have to find something else to not love,
buddy.
like exploding fist bumps. Or forgetting what you were about to do.
Wait, what was I about to do?
Or when people say you look like
James Lipton. Oh man, it's uncanny.
Get more choices you love, now with all-day breakfast.
When you want a truck that can do the tough truck things, but you also want one that can do everyday things. That's smarter and more versatile. You want a Ridgeline. For truck things and other things, the all-new versatile Ridgeline from Honda.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Verizon. Welcome to Verizon LTE Advanced, the next-gen network. McDonald's, I'm loving it. And by the all-new Honda Ridgeline for truck tough things and everyday things.
Some of the legendary figures in the storied history of this Minnesota Vikings franchise as they write the newest chapter in the state-of-the-art $1.1 billion stadium in downtown Minneapolis. Can the Texans get anything going? Still looking for their first down on the afternoon. Osweiler under pressure, backside, and nearly picked. Harrison Smith had a wide open seam of space in front of him and a pick six.
They forced the three-step drop, quick throw to the right. You see pressure coming off his left side. This is that cut coverage we talked about at the beginning of the game. Harrison Smith cuts right underneath the intended receiver, Lamar Miller. Should have caught it for the pick six.
Smith, the first-time Pro Bowler last season. We'll be seeing that one in his sleep tonight. Salmon, what can they possibly do to get their offense going? Another tough third down coming up.
First of all, running the football. You have to be able to manufacture rush yards in the early downs for Bill O'Brien. Once you put the quarterback in this third long situation, you got to expect Mike Zimmer to bring the heat with those blitzing linebackers. That means you're going to force that three-step drop, and then they're going to undercut anything. To me, you've got to find the one-on-one receiver and try to force the ball down the field.
Third and 9. Osweiler fires and it's incomplete. Intended for Strong. DeAndre Hopkins and Will Fuller, by the way, still both looking for their first catch.
It was a delayed blitz, but that pocket was shrinking around Brock Osweiler. He tried to go with the quick throw, trying to hold it long enough to go down the field. You see he goes down there. Captain Munnerlin's able to cut underneath this ball. So they're clamping down over the top and underneath these receivers, shrinking the area where Brock Osweiler can throw the football.
Osweiler 2 of 8 for a grand total of 7 yards. Good punt, and this one will be played by Sherrills. Crosses the 30. Sherrills still going. Only the kicker to beat. Sherrills breaking free into the end zone for the Minnesota touchdown. Fifth career punt return touchdown for Sherrills as he builds on his franchise record, 79 yards.
You know, the real key is when you kick the ball down the middle of the field, you have to cover the entire field. And so you can't shrink it And so the speed of Sherrill, stop it right there. See, he has great vision. He's going to press it there, but he finds the seam. But when you kick it down the middle of the field and you can't trap them on the sideline, just sheer speed as he just cuts right through the punt team for the Texans.
This one goes from bad to worse for Bill O'Brien and the Houston Texans. Point after by Walsh. Marcus Sherrill's 79 yards on the sprint. Minnesota dominating Houston.
Where'd you go? How's it going? I don't want being followed.
Jack Reacher, rated PG-13.
When I was first starting out as an engineer, I had to rely on my credit cards. The high interest rates were frustrating. So I looked for a smarter solution. With a personal loan from SoFi, I was able to cut my interest rates by 50%, and I'm saving over $8,000. Now I am back on top of my finances, and it feels really good.
A personal loan from SoFi is the smart way to consolidate debt. Get your rate online in less than 2 minutes. Visit trysofi.com.
Alexa, ask Uber for a ride.
Alexa, pause. Alexa, resume.
Alexa, ask 1-800-Flowers to order Tina Roses.
Okay.
Two things are gonna happen. Excuse me. First, that phone over there is gonna ring. Second, you're gonna be wearing these cuffs. Just gonna keep on ringing.
Jack Reacher, rated PG-13.
Hey, buddy, you here for the tickets?
Yeah. Wait. Oh, man. Good shit.
What were you thinking? You've got to get your tickets on NFL Ticket Exchange. NFL Ticket Exchange, 100% verified, authentic tickets.
79-yard punt return by Marcus Sherrills. And everything going right for the Minnesota Vikings, 24-0 as we welcome you back to U.S. Bank Stadium. Better than 66,000. First official regular season day game, and what a party it's been for Mike Zimmer and the Vikings.
These Vikings, Mike Zimmer said they're starting to play with a chip on their shoulder. Boy, that chip was pretty big. They've come out, and boy, they're taking it to the Texans.
This one booted through the back of the end zone as Irvin will take a knee. Week 5 continues later today on CBS, and for some of you on Fox. Tonight, Sunday Night Football on NBC, and tomorrow, Monday Night Football on ESPN, the Bucs and the Panthers. So Brock Osweiler, who has had by far his worst half of football as Houston's starting quarterback, again, still has not completed a pass Solomon to his top two guys, Hopkins and Miller. Fuller, rather, nothing going right.
The pocket is shrinking around him. That means he's got to play a little bit more compact. He does have that long windup that requires a long step, but when that pocket shrinks, he's not afforded the area or space to be able to throw the ball accurately.
Osweiler from the gun on 1st and 10. Again, off balance as he threw it to Strong. And Strong forced out of bounds right around the 30 by Sendejo. It's a pickup of 6.
A lot of this is about the great coaching job that Mike Zimmer has done with the Minnesota Vikings. We talked about losing some top players like Adrian Peterson, Teddy Bridgewater, Matt Khalil, still missing Stephon Diggs, his top receiver, but his personality and the way that he coaches mental and physical toughness on both sides of the ball, and even on special teams, this team has adopted his personality.
And of course, he drives a pickup truck. A tough disciplinarian style as that pass for Hopkins a little bit overthrown. Now late flag comes in. You see it right from the Vikings secondary. Xavier Rhodes on the coverage. Those two going back to their college days in the ACC, Rhodes and Hopkins.
Yeah, Rhodes was at Florida State, Hopkins at Clemson. Hopkins told us, he said it was Rhodes who gave him his biggest challenge in college. Hopkins pointing to the big board upstairs for the visuals.
Looks like the penalty against
Pass
Minnesota.
interference, 29, defense. Ball replacement, spot of the foul, first down.
Yeah, there was some hand fighting on the back end. Now watch the backhand, and there you can see Rhodes reaching out with that left arm. We call that the arm bar. It's used to push the receiver off his mark so that you push him to the sideline. He can't get to the ball. In my mind, that's pass interference by the rule. You're playing the man, not the ball. You're not allowed contact with the receiver more than 5 yards down the field when the ball's in flight.
Turns out to be a 34-yard penalty, and as you saw, the first down for the Texans this afternoon. Can they turn it into points? 1st and 10. Play action. Osweiler stumbling and taken down by Robinson.
He slipped, Spiro, as he went to set up to hit the top of that drop. He wanted to throw the ball down the field. Now watch when he goes to plant that back foot. It just slips, comes out from up under him, and he goes down. You see Strong going down the field. He wanted to drive that ball down the field to number 11, but when he slipped, provided an opportunity for Robinson to swoop in for the sack.
So they give 6 yards right back. 3rd sack of the season for Robinson. Osweiler on 2nd and 16, slinging it over the middle, incomplete, off the hands of Ryan Griffin. Eric Kendricks on the coverage, and Osweiler took a shot.
We said both defenses will hit, hurry, and harass your quarterback. But this is just taking a beating. They are teeing off on Brock Osweiler. That was Anthony Ball taking his lick.
Third and 16. Quick throw by Osweiler, finding Braxton Miller. Back after missing the last couple of games with a hamstring injury. Miller a couple of yards short. A pickup of a dozen. What do you do now if you're Bill O'Brien?
Well, to me, I think obviously you got to take some shots. In my mind, you've got to use Hopkins, excuse me. DeAndre Hopkins, if he gets a one-on-one opportunity with Xavier Rhodes, even their best corner, to me the offense goes through Hopkins, but you can't force it if he's double covered.
And keep in mind, Nick Novak missed the field goal earlier. Missed from 51 yards, so that you have to think is factoring in the decision here for Bill O'Brien, as the Texans will burn their second timeout. But once again, this Minnesota defense has been lights out.
Oh, there's no doubt. We talked about their physicality. You can see them closing in, whether it's a ball carrier, whether it's in pass coverage, or whether it's hitting the quarterback, an opportunity for takeaways where they lead the league. 2nd in sacks. You get the sense that, boy, they're just one play away from that knockout we talk about. You can see what they've done so far this season, and boy, only allowing 26 yards of total offense to the Texans today.
Biggest play of the day for Houston. 4th and 4. Osweiler as they give chase, and they'll get to him again. Everson Griffin, there's a flag. Once again in the back end of the Minnesota defense in the secondary, as Griffin coming from the blind side. Here's the call.
Yeah, looked like it was
Holding, number 29, defense. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
I was going to say, it looked like Rhodes working against Hopkins. Hopkins is the guy you have to go to, particularly if there's going to be one-on-one coverage, as he was here. And there's going to be holding. Now, right now, he's in great position, but right now, you got to turn him loose and let him go. Hopkins has his hand on the face mask of Rhodes. Of course, the officials didn't see that.
Rhodes getting a lot of pub after his work the last couple of weeks. What he did against Odell Beckham Jr. on Monday night. Carolina shutting down Kelvin Benjamin without a catch. 1st and 10. Texans trying to take advantage of the second penalty called on Rhodes, but this kid in his 4th season in the NFL quickly making a name for himself.
Well, he's been able to shut down some of the top receivers in the NFL, whether it's Kelvin Benjamin 1 week and then Odell Beckham Jr. in the Monday night game. Not giving up a lot of catches, even though they're targeting Xavier Rhodes. He's doing a good job of keeping the intended receiver out of the end zone and keeping them from creating big plays.
Both of those career lows for both Benjamin and Beckham. 2nd and 6. Osweiler's pass off target, looking in the direction of Ryan Griffin.
These corners, whether it's Terrence Newman in his 14th season out of Kansas State, he was once the Jim Thorpe Award winner as the best defensive back coming out of college. And even Zimmer said, yeah, his legs are starting to age a little bit. But they've got depth at corner, whether it's Trey Waynes, last year's 1st-round pick out of Michigan State, Xavier Rhodes, a former 1st-round pick, Captain Munnerlyn. They can throw a lot of corners at you. That's why they cover so tight on the back end.
Third and 6. Osweiler throwing end zone, incomplete. Hopkins and Rhodes battling. It'll be 4th and 6 coming up.
We told you this Vikings defense, they've been good at taking away the opposing team's #1 receiver. Rhodes just does a good job of staying on top. And look, playing the ball, did a much better job that time. In fact, I don't think Osweiler should have gone there with the football. He had Lamar Miller as running back coming out of the backfield to the other side of the field, but he wanted to go to his #1 receiver.
So here's the 9th-year kicker, Nick Novak, missed earlier from 51. And this one will be officially a 38-yard attempt. Texans desperately looking for points. And they're finally on the board. So a couple of defensive penalties against Minnesota. Texans finally scored 24-3.
When you broaden your vision, you can see beyond what's right in front of you. Beyond the expected that everyone else sees. You can see the next milestone. And when you do that, you can be the one they didn't see coming. The new 2016 Civic Coupe from Honda.
When Chili started, love was free. Our food was pretty darn close too. We're keeping that spirit alive with fajitas, a salad, and a mini molten cake for just $10. Chili's, chillin' since '75.
Rated mature. Survivor Wednesday. Winning the culture war between millennials and Gen X only requires the bare essentials.
Michaela takes her top off.
They about to see some tatas today.
New Survivor, CBS Wednesday.
We don't want to get all mushy, but we're excited that Matt LeBlanc's back on television.
I'm going to give you one of these. Wow, 3 Pats? That's 2 more than my wedding day.
Man with a Plan premieres Monday, October 24th.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Bud Light, beer with your team on it. And by Honda Civic Coupe. Be the one they didn't see coming.
Plenty of smiling faces, U.S. Bank Stadium, downtown Minneapolis, as the Vikings looking for a 5th straight win. Haven't been off to a 5-0 start here since 2009, the year that they won the NFC North, something they did last season. There's once again a little bit of a change up in the way that they are kicking off today. The linebacker Brian Peters able to boot it away. A 16-yard return by Charles Johnson. I'll be the first to know your team's news with the CBS Sports app. Get instant updates, expert analysis, highlights, and more. Download the CBS Sports app. Get it today. Spirodidis, Solomon Wilcots. 5:38 to play. First half in a game that has been all Minnesota till this point.
But you still get the sense if they can't run the football, then that means the Texans should be able to force some 3 and outs and get the ball back.
On 1st and 10, this is McKinnon, who, at least statistically, Solomon has been a more effective back in this offense than Adrian Peterson was the first game plus before Peterson went down. A margin of about 2 yards per carry. And the other thing without Peterson, Norv Turner doesn't really have the pressure to kind of build his game plans around Peterson week in and week out, and it's certainly opened up some other things in the passing game. This is Bradford on 2nd and 8, finally able to locate Rudolph. But Turner for sure continuing to press the right buttons.
Oh, this is going to be the tight end, Kyle Rudolph. And that's what Norv Turner's offense has always been known for, is getting the ball to those big tight ends, allowing them to create some easy throws for the quarterback. But now this Viking offense is facing a 3rd and long situation. This is where the Texans, they have to be able to create plays pressuring Bradford and try to steal the ball on the back end.
Rudolph in motion, bottom of the screen on 3rd and 7. Here come the Texans, and teeing off on Bradford. It's Merciless again.
Left tackle TJ Clemens is being destroyed by Whitney Merciless. The speed coming off the edge. Watch 68 Clemens. Look, knock the hands down, and at that point, it's just a walk to the quarterback. Come away with a sack. 3rd downs is where the Houston Texans, we talked about it being good. They have to be better today than they have been on 1st and 2nd down, forcing 3rd and longs, and then they can create pressure on the quarterback.
Merciless had a couple of sacks in their opener week 1. None since that point. So he has applied heavy pressure as he gets to Bradford for the 2nd time. His punt is a fair catch is signaled by Will Fuller, and it takes a Texans bounce very close to their 45-yard line. So only a 34-yard punt by Jeff Locke. Well, the Vikings hosted their annual breast cancer awareness luncheon for survivors and their caregivers on Tuesday. Screening saves lives in the NFL, and the American Cancer Society encourage everyone to join in on the fight against breast cancer. You can learn more about a crucial catch day on October the 25th. Find out how you can help make a crucial catch at NFL.com/pink. We've got a pink breast cancer awareness pins. Solomon's even got his pink shirt on today, really dressing the part.
I'm going to do my part. What you love about the NFL, supporting wonderful causes.
You look good, brother. 1st and 10. Osweiler from the gun as they start outside their own 45. That pass finds the hands of Griffin. A pickup of 4 for the Texans.
No, he said the Texans know what, no problem. Yeah, they've gotten pressure on the quarterback, but they have to do a better job of turning back Sam Bradford in this offense. And then the Vikings receivers, they have not been missing in action. 12 catches so far in this game and creating touchdowns.
Hand off the shotgun snap taken by Osweiler. That's Miller. And again, Solomon, we put it out there for people that are just tuning in. No catches between Will Fuller and DeAndre Hopkins, who did draw a couple of penalties, but just an incredible defensive performance by Minnesota.
Oh, 3rd and short right here. They've got to be able to convert this 3rd down play. Look like they're going to go tight here at the bottom of the screen, trying to get the ball to Hopkins.
Third and 2. Osweiler's pass. Boy, that one was nearly picked in the direction of Hopkins. Kendricks was there on the coverage.
I'm going for it on 4th down here, by the way. I'm not punting it. This is great field position, but yeah, Kendricks, we talked about these linebackers, their versatility, the ability to match up in coverage. They're good, what we call pattern readers of the wide receivers in those combination routes. They match up really well. It's a trademark of Mike Zimmer's defense. Critical 4th down play for the Texans.
Texans will have the football to begin the 2nd half, but desperately needing points. Rolling the dice on 4th and 2. Griffin coming nearly untouched. Football comes loose. Vikings have it And now we will await the penalty call from Jeff Triplett.
Offside, 97 defense. 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
Well, Griffin came a little bit too quickly, called for the penalty.
Oh, he was shot out of a cannon. There's no doubt. Watch him right here. 74, Chris Clark can only throw his hands up. I thought that was great timing. I thought he was right on it. Now look, the tackle.
Number 63 reports is eligible. Number 63 is eligible.
He might have moved into that neutral zone, but look, even Zimmer says, no, I think he timed that one up really well. Very close.
Griffin entered the day tied for third in the NFL in sacks. 4 of them, 3 of which came back in week 3 at Carolina. On 1st and 10 after the penalty, that pass was caught by C.J. Fedorowicz. Still playing with that sprained MCL that he gritted his way through in that home win over Tennessee last week, drawing a lot of kudos from his head coach Bill O'Brien. That time a pickup of 9.
Now it's going to be 2nd and 1. I'd like to see him take a shot down the field before this hits the 2-minute warning.
Still have 1 timeout in addition to that 2-minute warning. This is Miller. So that'll be a first down and 10 from just outside the Vikings 20. 2-minute warning. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
Whether you're wearing layers, beads, stripes, or cheese. If you bleed blue, black and yellow, purple, or various shades of red, this is your beer.
When you broaden your vision, you can see beyond what's right in front of you. Beyond the expected that everyone else sees. You can see the next milestone. And when you do that, you can be the one they didn't see coming. The new 2016 Civic Coupe from Honda.
You're gonna need 1 big push.
Congrats! I hear you're having a baby. New York Life can help you manage your family's financial future so you can relax and enjoy life's special moments.
Be good at life. New York Life.
Castrol Edge with titanium technology presents the clutch performance of the week. In Baltimore last week, a Terrence West touchdown run helped the Ravens take a 6-point lead over the Raiders in the closing minutes. Oakland's Derek Carr then put the Raiders back on top for good with his 4th touchdown pass of the day, a 23-yard strike to Michael Crabtree for the game winner. Use Castrol Edge for the strength to perform under pressure.
CBS Tuesday.
A dead body on a destroyer.
Hashtag murder boat.
Murder ship.
Murder boat's already trending.
What does this body, this pop star, and this ring have in common?
Let's be honest, it's probably all connected.
A full throttle new episode.
Freeze, NCIS!
TV's #1 drama, CBS Tuesday.
Well, we don't want to get anyone in trouble in that Vikings locker room, but something tells me one of their equipment managers may be in some hot water as they misspell Everson Griffin's last name. One of their defensive stars who has been lights out so far for Mike Zimmer. 1st and 10 after the pass play as Osweiler starting to look in the direction of Fedorowicz. Tough catch, spinning in midair. A pickup of 15.
This play is open on the backside when they're working against a linebacker with either the tight end like you see here with Fedorowicz or the running back coming out. It started as an out route, but then Fedorowicz broke it off and turned it up, and he was able to beat Eric Kendricks on the play.
That was only the 5th first down for Houston and only the 2nd that they've had without the aid of a penalty. 1st and 10 just outside the Minnesota 12. Osweiler, quick throw, again looking at Fedorowicz. It falls incomplete. We remind you again, the Texans will have possession to begin the second half.
Yeah, but the pressure on Brock Osweiler has been immense here in the first half, and Bill O'Brien has to be able to dial up some plays that's going to allow him to get the ball out of his hands quickly, because Brian Robinson was right in his face as soon as he turned around.
Robinson, who's been doing it here since 07 for the Vikings. 2nd and 10. Osweiler looking, hit on the throw, and it's incomplete. And the Vikings just keep on coming. Anthony Barr making contact.
Very good thing Brock Osweiler is 6'8", 235, because, oh man, is he taking some licks here in the first half. Watch him try to escape here, but watch number 55, Anthony Barr. He'll stack on top of Miller and then fires off, get to the chest of Brock Osweiler.
Barr, the former collegiate running back at UCLA, who nearly quit football as a collegian. What a player he's become in this Mike Zimmer coach defense. So Brock Osweiler and Houston have to burn their final timeout. Saw something he didn't like, and the biggest decision that Bill O'Brien has to make on a 3rd and 10. Coming up, the Verizon halftime report. JB, Tony, Bart, Boomer, and Coach Cowher standing by in New York. Get you caught up around the league, plus a preview of Thursday Night Football on CBS and NFL Network. All to come on the Verizon halftime report. This is the Houston red zone offense. Hasn't been very good so far here in week 5.
Look at that. They have to settle for field goals. Only have 3 touchdowns in the red zone. Second worst red zone offense, because A, you have to be able to run it, and your tight ends have to make plays for you here.
Third and 10. Osweiler throwing end zone. Not even close. Will Fuller was the nearest target. Griffin came into your picture towards the end. And on 4th and 10, O'Brien sends out his field goal unit.
Yeah, watch Fuller. He's going to go in and then slip and fall. Oh, no, that wasn't a slip and fall. That was just a tug of the jersey by Terrence Newman. That old veteran play of holding on to the receiver while he's in the end zone, forcing the incompletion.
Fuller, O'Brien's leading receiver through 4 weeks. Leads all rookies in receiving yards entering this weekend's games, but still looking for his first catch. Novak missed from 51, hit from 38. This one from 30. It is good, just barely.
Well, they certainly needed to convert on that field goal. I'm sure Osweiler and Bill O'Brien wanted to convert inside the red zone, try to get a touchdown. But this defense for the Vikings, where they make it tough on your offensive line, they make it tough on your quarterback, and this ball narrowly makes it through. Wow.
May have actually nicked the right upright as Anthony Barr and the defense doing their job getting off the field. We visited with Bill O'Brien last night talking about the big story this week about the play calling, and he quickly wanted to put his foot down and said, look, I've been calling plays for this offense for the last 3 years. A lot made of he and George Gotze, who have been together for so many years. O'Brien coached him back at Georgia Tech. So they got a lot to talk about in that halftime locker room.
Yeah, and I asked Bill O'Brien point blank. I said, so it's your voice in the ear of the quarterback Brock Osweiler? He said, absolutely. And he proclaimed that it is he who's been calling plays for the offense all season long.
An offense that has struggled mightily to this point. Only a couple of field goals to show for their efforts. Marcus Sherrills, who had the long punt return for 6 earlier, with a return of 13 yards. We started the show talking about both Will Fuller and DeAndre Hopkins, and goose eggs all around.
And it's not for a lack of creativity. It's not for a lack of talent when it comes to Hopkins and Fuller. What it is, it's a lack of time for the quarterback to throw the football. Osweiler has been harassed repeatedly. He doesn't have a lot of time, and then these bracket coverages on the receivers not allowing room to complete passes in high traffic.
on 1st and 10. Quick delivery to Charles Johnson, who steps up in the Vikings wide receiver depth chart today with Stephon Diggs out with that groin injury. Vikings with a couple of timeouts left here, but don't appear to be in any hurry.
Yeah, the problem is Houston's had to burn some early timeouts, trying to adjust to this Vikings defense. And because you waste those timeouts, you can't stop the clock here. You're sort of at the Vikings' mercy. If you're the Minnesota Vikings, you don't want to use your 2 timeouts here. You want to try to eat as much clock as you can. Under a minute here. This is going to be your last possession of the first half. You get the ball back to begin the second half.
On 2nd and 8, they'll keep it on the ground to Asiata. Vikings, a team that has won 7 straight regular season games going back to last year. That's the longest active streak in the NFL. Their last regular season loss was December the 10th of last season against Arizona.
Spiro, I want to go back to the timeouts. You know, these quarterbacks who are working in new offenses and trying to get protection, sometimes when you have to burn those timeouts, it really can't come back to haunt you. However, there is a deeper downside to it. Is you go ahead and say, I'm going to save my timeout, and you go ahead and try to snap the ball, and the leakage comes through, hit the quarterback, and now you turn it over. What's worse, turning the ball over or having to burn that timeout early? I think you have to protect yourself from against that egregious play, even if you have to use the timeout.
One of a number of factors that these coaches go through. So the chess match till this point being won by Mike Zimmer as they dominate the Houston Texans in that first half, 24-6. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
I built this hospital. It's gonna blow your mind. Stick your finger in the tubey thing. Your blood glucose is slightly low. Here, eat that.
Gadgets and gizmos come and go. Medicine is a human endeavor.
Good one. You should change your specs.
My specs.
Spectacles, glasses. I'm thinking retro Clark Kent. Put up here. Come to Papa.
Catch TV's #1 new comedy, Kevin Can Wait, CBS Monday after The Big Bang Theory.
Were the judges right in saying we're the best tasting light beer? You be the judge. Spelled different because it's brewed different.
Electrical charges live at the heart of every hybrid. Only a few truly move us. Electrifying the road forward for over a decade. With over 1 million on the road, Lexus hybrids are always charged and always ready.
You can hear it, that little voice. The one that's telling you don't do anything you might regret. But this is the new world. You can be whoever you want.
Apparently, Bud Light wants to play politics. Miller Lite has more taste, fewer calories, and half the carbs. Well, that's one easy debate. Miller Lite, spelled different because it's brewed different.
You are watching NFL Sunday Ticket.
I'm Nora O'Donnell with a CBS News update. The stage is set here at Washington University in St. Louis for tonight's presidential debate. The stakes have been raised for Donald Trump with the release of a decade-old recording of the Republican nominee making vulgar comments about women. Now, Trump has apologized, but a growing number of Republicans are calling on him to drop out of the race. Trump says there's zero chance he'll quit. A new CBS poll in the battleground states of Ohio and Pennsylvania shows for a slight majority. The tape has not changed their view, but there is a gender gap on this. In Pennsylvania, 53% of women are more likely to say it worsens their view of Trump. Our debate coverage begins at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, right here on CBS. For now, I'm Nora O'Donnell, CBS News. I'll see you tonight.
Carlene.
Hi, D'Angelo. You ready to take care of my restaurant?
You can tell I don't cook, man. I'm a microwave guy. You guys doing okay?
Yeah, everything's great.
This potato not shaped right, man. All right. Apologize for that.
It's okay, I'm almost finished now.
Wow. Carlene does this?
Yes.
Like all the time?
D'Angelo, how did it go?
Oh, it went great. You went back so soon. It is tough owning a restaurant. I can tell you that right now. Whew. But I had fun, though.
You here to buy the tickets?
Hey, buddy, you here for the tickets?
Yeah.
Dude, what's the password, man?
Oh, Coach Shanahan.
What were you thinking?
We're doing like a CD ticket deal instead of going to NFL Ticket Exchange.
NFL Ticket Exchange. 100% verified, authentic tickets from one fan to the other.
We'll see you at the games, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Appreciate you.
Get the Verizon Halftime Report live online every Sunday. Brought to you by Verizon. Visit cbssports.com/Verizon.
Starting tomorrow, Jack is going to be supervising you guys. I got passed over for a promotion. I've been here 8 weeks.
And I have to work with a stupid 20-somethings.
Hey, go back to your phones.
He has a website from '96.
That baby's old enough to have its own baby now.
The Great Indoors premieres Thursday, October 27th.
CBS Sports presents the Verizon Halftime Report.
And welcome back to our New York studio and the Verizon Halftime Report. Get NFL mobile to watch live, local, and primetime games, highlights, NFL Red Zone, and more, all without using any data, only on Verizon. I'm James Brown here in Studio 43. Full house, highlights we go.
All righty, let's get you started. Patriots of the Browns, the story of the day. Tom Brady is back. Look at his tan. He's looking great. He's feeling good, and he's playing well, too. He's got this touchdown pass is going to one of his new toys, Martellus Bennett, the tight end. That's a 7-yard touchdown. He's got 2 touchdowns on the day. Scores 23-7. New England is obviously up.
And Ben Roethlisberger has 2 touchdown passes in the first half of this game. This one right here to a wide open Jesse James. And right now they lead 14-13 at the half.
How are these guys getting wide open?
Down there in Baltimore to Joe Flacco, 16-22, 121 yards, 1 touchdown. He finds Crockett Gilmore right there. They lead 10-6 over the Redskins.
Boom, you say how are these guys getting wide open right here. Marcus Mariota's going to drop back. He's going to find Delaney Walker on the shake and bake. Wide open for the 20-yard score. He does.
Well, that's not wide open.
21-14 at half.
At the NFL level it is, right?
Well, let me tell you about the Vikings and their defense. Wow, that's all I can say. Here comes Marcus Sherrills. He's going to return this ball 79 yards for a touchdown. That's more yards than Houston has in total offense in the first half. That's how tough it is to play against the Vikings defense in that building. Sam Bradford, 13 of 18, 157 yards, 1 TD, no turnovers. How about Matthew Stafford, guys? 11 of 15, 122 yards, 3 touchdown passes, 2 to Theo Riddick. Here's the second of those 2. They lead 21-10. Carson Wentz playing well in the first half. Still no interceptions thrown by the rookie quarterback.
All right, Bears Colts. Andrew Luck is 18 of 24, 195 yards, no picks. He's got 1 touchdown pass, and we saw it right there to Dwayne Allen, the tight end. India's up at half. 16-13 over Chicago.
Hey, Josh McDaniels, the offensive coordinator of the Patriots, has opened up the playbook, and here it comes. All the toys come to play. Rob Gronkowski, look at this run. I don't think his hamstring bothers him now that Tom Brady's playing. Here comes James White. It's a little screen to the halfback down the sideline. He goes. Tom Brady's hit 7 different receivers, including Chris Hogan on 2 big long completions.
Wow.
Here's a second of the 2 all the way down to the 5-yard line. Martellus Bennett, 2 touchdown pass receptions.
We asked what Tom Brady brings to the table, his experience. Watch him go through his progressions. 1, 2, 3, all covered. He finds Martellus Bennett easily in the flat. That's the thing he brings, an understanding of this offense and that patience to be able to execute it.
Yeah, look at the numbers, guys. Now, it's not against the Minnesota defense in Minneapolis. We know that. This is against the Cleveland Browns, who are now being quarterbacked by their 4th quarterback of the year, Charlie Whitehurst, who was picked up off the street 2 weeks ago. Things looking pretty good for New England right now.
I tell you what, Tom Brady brings all the intangibles. And it's funny how everybody gets healthy when Tom Brady comes back, because they know if they run their route, he'll find you. And they're doing a great job. Chris Hogan, a great addition to this offense.
You know, there was question about him maybe being rusty going into this game. If you look at those first half numbers, if you just double it up, He's going to pass for over 500 yards. He's going to have 4 touchdowns. In
Whoa,
his
he's
first
not
game
playing.
back. Somebody said he was
It's
rusty.
not
I don't
homecoming
know
every
who it
week.
was.
He has 6 incompletions.
Coach.
It's not homecoming every week. He's not going to play Cleveland every week, Tom.
Verizon halftime report.
Might test
continues.
Yeah,
CBS Sports presents the Verizon Halftime Report. Watch live, local, and primetime games on NFL Mobile without using any data. Only on Verizon.